And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Friday, December 10th. I am Josh Engelman. We're here to break down a 9-game NBA slate. It's going to be a good one, although FanDuel bumped up their main contest to $15 entries, which is not fun at all, but we'll deal with that as we have to. Before we deal with anything, though, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and then head on over to Twitter. Follow this guy right here, at Josh Engelman. It's going to be a good follow, I promise. Good retweets. Good retweets right here. Good morning to everybody that is in chat right now. It's a slow trickle. We're going to have to get started a little bit faster than I normally do, just because Fridays are the days where we got to have that hard cutoff at 7:30. So we do have to move through all 9 games pretty quickly. So Hold'em King, thank you very much. Yeah, I did bag a top 10 yesterday. Got into 8th. We'll show everybody when we get it started, but it went well enough at the very least. I'll take what I can get. So good morning to everybody. It's time for a cheers. I've got a little bit more energy today than I did yesterday, that's for sure. Got a little bit more sleep too. So I've got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go. I've got my pre-workout lemonade locked and ready to go. We're not going to cheers on that one, but maybe we will when we get to like 7:15. But coffee, water, tea, beer, whatever you got today. Good morning. Rise and grind. Cheers, everybody. Let's have a good one. Let's win some more money today. Best place that you guys can win some money, though? That's easy. That would be Prize Picks, the presenting sponsor of this show. If you use the promo code Awesemo when you sign up at Prize Picks, you can get up to $100 on your first deposit. Cannot beat it. We've got player prop tools on the website for free that will help you make these decisions. You don't have to worry about like sharks or optimizers. You can just make prop cards, play like parlay cards with player props. And if you do up to 5, you can get up to 10x your entry fee on those. You can do it cross sport if you want to. Look, just take the free loot out of the gate. Use that promo code Awesemo. All right, let's get some tunage on in the background. Done. Here's what we had going on yesterday. So I was able to bag a... You're not going to be able to see that, but it's Jokic at the bottom. That's fine, though. Actually, I should just flip these. I'll go this way. So I was able to bag 8th place on FanDuel yesterday. Would have been really nice if that bumped up a little bit further, but what are you going to do? Tyus Jones, DeAnthony Melton, Bane, Vassell, LeBron James, Keita Bates-Diop, Jaren Jackson, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic is the lineup. If we're talking about, like, I don't know, letdowns, probably would have hoped for, like, nothing I could really change there or be mad about. 8th is fine. It's nice to crack that top 10. Would have preferred to crack that top 1, but I'm happy with how yesterday shook out. I can't really complain there. So that's where we ended up yesterday. Snuck into the top 10. Had 4 in the top 1%, so I'm really happy about it. That's, again, I talk about it a lot on the show, but the best you can hope for is getting as many entries as you can into the top 1% and you hoping it's your day. So it was close to my day yesterday, but a lot of this was built based on thought process in the early morning. Once Dylan Brooks got ruled out, kind of jammed these 3 dudes in pretty aggressively. Vassell just needed a little bit more out of him, Needed him to be Lonnie Walker to a degree. Those extra 6 points would have helped, but what are you going to do? On to the next one. We got one in the books. What was the buy-in yesterday, David? $9, I think. It's the $9 150 max. I think that's what it was yesterday. They've been jerking that contest around. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 5.55, sometimes it's 9. Today it's 15, but yeah, I didn't have as much LeBron as I would have liked. I had something like 15%. I could actually confirm that quickly. I should still have that up over here. I had 15% LeBron. I had 15% LeBron, 15% Russ, and 40% AD. but I had 60% Jokic, which worked out pretty well. All right, guys, time to dive in. We don't have time to mess around. So, Sacramento Kings, 1-point favorites in Charlotte, 228 total. Let's go take a look at the Kings to start. So, first one up for Sacramento. We've got no Richaun Holmes. Eye injury, going to be out for today. That is important information. Everybody else for Sacramento that could be in is in. Jay, that one paid out. Eighth was like, I chopped eighth with one other guy, so it was like $17.50. So it was nice. It was needed. That much I could tell you. Morning, Larry C. And then on the Charlotte side, it's the same sort of situation we've had. No LaMelo, no Terry Rozier, no Mason Plumlee, no Jalen McDaniels, no Ish Smith. The lack of Holmes is a pretty big piece here for Sacramento. We saw Harrison Barnes return this last time out. Metu didn't see the floor. So the question then becomes, what happens here for Sacramento? And we need to take a look at that last rotation, which was Wednesday, because I want to see what they did once Holmes got hurt. So Richaun Holmes got hurt. They immediately went to Tristan Thompson. He both closed the second quarter, started the third quarter in Holmes's place, and closed the game. So stands to reason this one's going to be Tristan Thompson playing like 27 minutes. That's feels like my assumption. Thompson starts, Len is the backup. Now, they could go to some Marvin Bagley if they wanted to at the 5. They did not do that at all. They had Bagley playing. I can't say at all. They did a little bit right here for like a 3-minute stretch, but every other minute that Bagley was playing was with Alex Len on the floor. So I'm gonna go to, we're gonna say 24 minutes for Tristan Thompson, 18 minutes for Alex Len, and then I'm going to say Marvin Bagley gets on for some sort of amount of playing time. Maybe 20 minutes instead of Metu. Assuming Metu is just out of the rotation from the last game. That fills everything in, keeping Fox at 34. Should it be 35? Probably. In a competitive game, he's probably playing 35. Actually, I'm going to leave it at 34. I'll get enough Fox regardless. Davion Mitchell in for 26. That could probably be a little bit lighter. We'll go to 25. Terrence Davis played 29, 29, and 29 these past 3 games. Now, that was without Barnes in 2 of them. Buddy Hield's minutes are down into the 20s now. Not entirely sure how we read into that. It's 3 straight games of Buddy Hield just being a straight backup. Is this foul trouble? 1 foul. No, it's not foul trouble. All right. I mean, it appears they're going to more Terrence Davis than Buddy Hield. So we're going to take Terrence Davis up to 27, Buddy Hield to 25. Halliburton can stay at 33, and honestly, it should probably be more. But I'm kind of out of guys. So assuming Marvin Bagley is in the rotation now and playing some time at the 4, maybe as like Harrison Barnes' backup and then as a little bit of a 5, I think that's where I'm at. Now, from a rates perspective, this shouldn't matter all that much. But the Bagley piece will swing things a little bit. I'm already spending more time than I want to on this team for just Richaun Holmes being out, but it takes me a little bit to get back in the rhythm of moving quickly through this show. So if we take Holmes off, there's a decent enough sample for this too. We get Buddy Hield in for a 24% usage rate, but he doesn't really matter all that much in this spot. It's got all those rates. So we'll start with Fox. It's got a 27.9% usage rate. So we'll go 28% usage rate for Fox with no Holmes. Assist rate is just criminally low this year. Rebounding rate's fine. Next guy up is going to be Harry Barnes. 21.5% usage rate for Barnes with no Holmes this season. No real other changes to his rates. Tyrese Halliburton would be third. 16.5% usage rate. He just sort of isn't involved a lot. What if Bagley doesn't start? I don't expect Bagley to start, Ronald. I don't expect Bagley to start. He's just going to be the backup to Harrison Barnes, if I had to guess. Terrence Davis, 143 minutes, 25% usage rate with no Holmes. I don't get the sense that that's going to be like a firm thing moving forward. I think that's probably good for rates at this point. Like, I don't need to lock in Len or Tristan Thompson for any sort of crazy nonsense. Bagley, same situation. So I'm fine with what I've got in there for Sacramento. Let's take a look at Charlotte, who once again are going to be aggressively shorthanded. And we've seen these past two games where Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, and Cody Martin all play 40 minutes. So we're going 38 minutes to Gordon Hayward. Book Night did not play nearly as much as you would expect. We're going to go to 38 minutes for Cody Martin. We've got 32 for PJ Washington. That's really the best that I can hope for here for him. 16 for Nick Richards. That's fine for me. I've already got Bridges in for 38. Honestly, he should probably be 39. He's the most likely guy to play a little bit more. JT Thor, 18. Kelly Oubre in for 38. And then I'm just going to give Book Night 11. Now, got to give him something here. 38 for Gordon Hayward. 38 for Cody Martin. 38 for Kelly Oubre. 39 for Bridges. I'm going to go 18 for Thor, or 18 for Richards, 19 for Thor, and then 18 for Book Night. We'll go 19 for Book Night. SMP, I don't think that matters at all. No coach is approaching a Charlotte-Sacramento game like that. I have no need to change any of these rates. This is just what it is right now. So, surprise, surprise, this is going to be a monstrous affair for both Charlotte and Sacramento. So if we look at the Sacramento side to start, this is going to be an important game because of how fast these guys play too. Harrison Barnes is my favorite option in this game. 5,400 on DraftKings. Terrence Davis is 4K on DK, shooting guard, small forward. He's going to be really popular. Tristan Thompson is 3,500. Alex Len is 3,100. You definitely want to rotate through those two guys. Fox and Halliburton both look pretty solid. Heald is still, worth a shot, but hasn't been good. Lots to like to like for Charlotte or for Sacramento. Charlotte side, same deal. You're playing a ton of Bridges, Hayward, Oubre, Martin, Washington. There's no way around it. These guys play too many minutes. This is going to be one of the most popular games on the slate. We're talking about a Sacramento team that plays at the fourth fastest pace. We're talking about a Charlotte team that plays at the second fastest pace. This is the game that you want everything for. And they've got interesting pieces across the board. So make sure you're getting to Sacramento, Charlotte today. Most important game on the slate. Dallas. 1.5 point underdogs in Indy, 213 total. What do we need to know about the Dallas Mavericks? No Willie Cauley-Stein, Q tag on Sterling Brown. That's easy. On the Indy side, No Justin Holiday, no TJ Warren, no TJ McConnell. So same stuff here as usual for both of these teams. We saw Ntilikina leave the rotation once again. Moses Brown got run. I need to look at this most recent Dallas game from the 8th because that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I need to see if that was blowout run or not. So Moses Brown played on purpose. 2 rotations at center instead of Porzingis. That's interesting. Josh Green also in the rotation properly here. So let's move some stuff around and figure this out. We take out Ntilikina's minutes. I'm going to go to Moses Brown. If they were willing to play him in the last game, I'm going to assume that they were willing to play him here. It was against Memphis, so it's not like it's that kind of game. Indy's got big, so Moses Brown makes sense. Oh yeah, no Rick Carlisle. He's got COVID. So let's give Moses Brown 10 minutes. Kristaps Porzingis is going to lose some time here at the 5 at the very least. He's not going to lose like proper time. Dwight Powell playing 20 minutes a game now. So then we get 18 for Porzingis at the 5. And then 12 at the 4. We need to get Maxi Kleber in for 22 minutes. We get Dorian Finney-Smith in for his 34. That pretty much hashes me out. I got Brunson in for 29. Feels safe. Luka in for his normal 35 is fine. Tim Hardaway in for 29 feels a little bit high, so we'll go to 28. Reggie Bullock in for 26. That number can definitely go up to 28. And then we'll give Josh Green just a little bit of playing time. No need to change any rates. I'll say this much. It's pretty much Luka and nobody else here. No surprises either. For the Pacers, again, this is going to be probably pretty standard issue stuff. They don't really mess around. We've got Brogdon in for his normal 36 if it's competitive. Brad Wanamaker, backup run plus maybe a little extra. Jeremy Lamb, maybe a little extra. We know what we get out of Sabonis and Turner, LeVert, Duarte. I don't really have anything else that we need to change here. O'Shea Brissett's been playing a bit more as of late. So I think we're already set for Indy. Joe, man, thanks for popping in just for a couple seconds. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you, just even if you can only get here for a minute. Sorry you got to go to work, but hopefully you have a good day. All right, Dallas. Love Luka. 9,900 on FanDuel. Still has a truly stupid price. 11K on DraftKings is appropriate. Nobody else on Dallas is really any sort of priority. For Indy, stop me if you've heard this before. Domantas Sabonis looks like a solid play. Back under 10K now on DraftKings, so starting to look better. 8,800 on FanDuel is great. Malcolm Brogdon, 7,400 on FanDuel, looks great. Chris Duarte for 4,400 on DraftKings looks great. Karis LeVert for 5,800 across both sites looks good. Miles Turner across both sites looks good. A lot to like for Indy once again. And this team is constantly playing. 96 viewers, 44 likes. Hit that thumbs up. You people like to sleep in on Friday. Where is everybody? Brooklyn at Atlanta. Brooklyn, 1 point favorite. 1 point underdogs in Atlanta. That makes more sense to me. We'll start on the Brooklyn side. No Kyrie Irving, no Joe Harris, so no news there. On the Atlanta end of it all, no Bogdan Bogdanovic, no DeAndre Hunter. Cam Reddish, probable. Onyeka Okongwu in the G League, so working his way back. That's exciting. That's good news. I'm really excited to see him get back. He looked really good late last year, and I think that he could be very interesting from a defensive standpoint. Sort of like a, I don't know, whatever they wanted Evan Mobley to be, but like a half step behind that for Cleveland. Maybe like a full, well, defensively, I mean, not offensively. Okongwu doesn't have that in his bag. All right. So for Brooklyn, we didn't have Durant or Aldridge in the last one they sat. I fully expect those guys to be playing today, so I don't really have a ton that I want to change I've got Aldridge in for 39 minutes. I think that's okay. No reason to suspect Millsap isn't playing today. Although we have seen Nick Claxton play 16 to 18 minutes these past two games. Something that we need to pay attention to. So I don't really know where those minutes need to come from. Because, I got to charge my watch. That was a great reminder, watch. Thank you. We've got Harden in for 38 minutes. We've got Durant in for 38 minutes. The question is, who's, losing time finally? I guess DeAndre Bembry is one of those people. I got to take everybody out of here quickly, except for the guys we know. I think it's important. So, Patty Mills, Harden, Durant, that one's easy. I'm going to go to 29 minutes on Aldridge. I'm going to assume that we get 16 minutes for Nick Claxton. And man, the Paul Millsap piece is really hard, but I'm going to assume that Millsap is just sort of out of the rotation. We get, I don't know, James Johnson in for 22. That leaves us still with 38 for KD. Bruce Brown seems to be set for about 16 minutes a game. DeAndre Bembry, we're going to do something like 20. That lets me do Cam Thomas for 20 as well. And then we'll do 7 for Javon Carter. Yeah, that'll work. Rates will all stay the same. No changes here. We know what we're getting. For Atlanta, this one should be pretty easy to handle, other than just Reddish finally being back. So I've got TLC in for 24 minutes. Got Reddish in for 24 minutes. Gallo in for 26 minutes. Not really much to change here. I mean, Reddish, prior to the injury, was playing, about 25 minutes a game. They're not going to Solomon Hill anymore, so I think that I don't really have much else to add here. 34 for Collins, 32 for Capella. Yeah, I don't think that I have any major changes that I want to make here. In theory, I could bump up TLC for a little bit more time. When did they play last? Guessing right there. And this was no Reddish. TLC starting. There's no reason that TLC doesn't keep starting. He just doesn't have to close. That's really the issue now. I think I'm fine with these rotations. So for Brooklyn, certainly James Harden and Kevin Durant on FanDuel. I prefer Harden. On DraftKings, Harden's price is now ahead of Durant's. I think those guys look pretty equal. LaMarcus Aldridge would be my third favorite play. I got to sneeze. One and done, I reckon. And then on the Atlanta side, I like little bits here. So John Collins looks pretty solid across both sites, 7,600, 7,200. Kevin Huerter and Clint Capella both look solid. They're slowly bringing Capella's price back down. Trae Young is always reasonable. And then Cam Reddish, if he plays, is 3,200. Well, Cam Reddish, because he's playing, I guess. He's 3,200 shooting guard, small forward. It's a really nice value option. Not bad. Let's check and see how these tables look now that we're through 3 games. So, favorite plays so far on FanDuel, Cody Martin by a mile at 5K. I'm probably over projecting him, but he just plays too much. After that, we've got this like really packed tier of similar guys: Bridges, Brogdon, Oubre, PJ Washington, Barnes, Doncic, Herter, Hayward. All those guys look pretty similar to each other. On DraftKings, sort of got a top 4: Cody Martin, Miles Bridges, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, and then you get into a mini Chris Duarte, Gordon Hayward tier. All right, Knicks and Raptors. Can't imagine we're going to like too much here. Knicks are 1.5 point dogs, 209 total. This is not the fastest matchup in the world. For the Knicks, everybody is available. For the Raptors, still no OG, no Kem Birch. Q tag on Achua. That's important. No Dragic, still away from the team. So for the Knicks, I've got it 25-23, Noel to Robinson, assuming Noel starts. Didn't play on Wednesday, but that is the breakdown I'm going to go with, at least for right now. Might not matter. Obviously, Julius Randle in for his standard issue 36. I got Alec Burks in for 34. We saw RJ Barrett play bigger minutes again for the second straight game. And a little bit less so out of Fournier. I'm going to give one more minute to RJ Barrett. You cannot pay for my updated projections prior to lock, but you can join Awesemo.com using the promo code, I don't know, NBA Strategy Show. I think that's one of them. Let me double check it. I don't think I have a promo code. Do I have a promo code? No, it doesn't look like it. Where is it? Oh, I do have a promo code. NBA The Process. One big word. NBA The Process. 25% off your first week of Awesemo Plus. I didn't know I had a promo code. That's fun. Yay me. I'll have to put that on the screen somewhere. Yeah, I don't really have anything else I want to change here for Knicks projections. I mean, this is kind of just set in stone at this point. So, good deal. On to Toronto. I mean, the Precious Achua piece is problematic because that sort of swings a lot for Toronto. I'm going to assume that he's playing just because it makes a lot more sense to assume that he's playing. And then everybody else's minutes just have to be what they are. So, I'm happy here. 38 minutes to Van Vliet, like usual. 34 to Gary Trent. Honestly, could be 35. Probably wouldn't hurt. This is just not... It's like a decent game, but not a decent game. Like for the Knicks, Randall, Burks, and Barrett all look solid, but unspectacular. Dave, thanks for joining up. For Toronto, Van Vliet, Siakam, Barnes, Trent, Precious Achua, if he plays, all look solid, but not spectacular. So, like, that's the best I can hope for here. There are a lot of decent enough options across both, but nobody jumping to like the top of the priority list. 658, 123 viewers, 62 likes. Half of you are asleep at the wheel. Oh, this one's going to be gross. Milwaukee at Houston. The Bucks are 8.5 point favorites in Houston, 224 total. I mean, I assume this is just the normal rotations, barring any legitimate news. So for Milwaukee, no Brook Lopez, no Dante DiVincenzo. Q tag on George Hill. Giannis is probable. For Houston, no Kevin Porter, no Jalen Green, no Daniel House. So, yikes. Yeah, I can't imagine I'm making any changes here to Milwaukee. This is just the same sort of rotation every time. Yeah, could I give Middleton or Drew or something like an extra minute? Sure, but this is where they should be. Houston, on the other hand, could be a little bit weirder. So they went to 2, 5, 6, 7, 9-man rotation last time out. I gave a decent chunk to Nwaba. That didn't work the way that I wanted it to. So 32 minutes for Christian Wood. I feel pretty comfortable there. Tice didn't play. Feels like he would play on a day like today, though. Şengün's minutes are sort of always the same. I do really think Daniel Tice plays in a matchup against Milwaukee because I think they'll want that sort of guy out there. Augustine's minutes I don't really care about. Armani Brooks's minutes are not all that interesting, but could be. Josh Christopher played more. So let's take that to 16. Then I could walk back David Nwaba's. 32 for Eric Gordon, 32 for Garrison Matthews, 32 for Jayshawn Tate. Those are the real most important pieces here. I think that allows everything else for Houston to settle. So for Milwaukee, Giannis looking fantastic across both sites. Small forward, power forward on FanDuel for 11K. Power forward center on DraftKings for 10.9. He's just really, really good. I got him at 1.72 fantasy points per minute in this spot. You know, Houston plays as the fastest team in the league. Milwaukee is 11th, so pace up spot for the Bucks too. Happy to get to Drew or Middleton or Portis as well. Even Grayson Allen looks pretty solid, 4,100 and 4,200. Just, play some Milwaukee. Great matchup. On the Houston side, Christian Wood, 8,200 on FanDuel, looks great. Power forward center, especially with no Jalen Green and no Kevin Porter Jr. Whew, was a tough pull. Jayshawn Tate and Eric Gordon are the other options. You can play some Garrison Matthews, but he sucks generally as a fantasy option, but the minutes are there. All right, we added 2 more games, so let's add 2 more to the summary table. See if anything else interesting came up. Yeah, so on FanDuel, nothing too crazy. We still just have this like really packed area below Cody Martin. And then on DraftKings, it's still that same foursome, then a twosome. So nothing nuts there. 4 more to go. Cleveland at Minnesota. Oh, God. Interesting game for like teams that are young that both have weird pieces. Everybody's healthy for Cleveland. Sure, that's not the same for Minnesota. Probable tag on Bev. Q tag on Russell. Raider Nation, absolutely never would do this for the NFL. Me covering the NFL is not what you want. I don't care about it. I already spend too much time doing NFL stuff, which is basically going away as of today. So I'm happy about that. Where's Minnesota at? Questionable. So we don't have any real news here. I'm going to assume that he's playing today. I think. Let's handle Cleveland first, though. Back at relative full strength. So they basically went to an 8-man rotation, which is kind of wild for a team that has like everybody available. So 36 minutes for Garland. Yep. I don't think that I have any changes here. Cleveland's rotation is kind of easy, so I'm just going to hold where I'm at. For Minnesota, we got to get Russell back in here, so I'm just going to cut this entire rotation just to make it a little bit easier to look at. So we'll start with Towns in for 34 minutes. Naz Reid back up. That piece is easy. Pat Bev back for 1 game. We're going to say 24 minutes for Patrick Beverley. I don't want to go too crazy just yet. Dave Jones, congrats. Nice work. We're going to say that Russell comes back in. I'm going to say about 32 minutes for this one. At the 4, we get Jared Vanderbilt for 28 minutes. I'll say McDaniels plays the other 20. We get Anthony Edwards in for 37 minutes. We get Malik Beasley in for 24. That leaves me 27 minutes. I mean, for who exactly? Taurean Prince, I guess, gets a chunk of that time. We'll give him 11. And then, I mean, like anybody else could be playing here. Balmaro probably gets them. We'll go 16, something like that. I got to update the rates. Stupid D'Angelo Russell. Let's cut everything here. Anthony Edwards, 28% usage rate this season. That'll work. D'Angelo Russell, 28% usage rate this year. That'll work. Towns, 28.9. Sure. Vanderbilt, 11.5. Malik Beasley, 19. I think that's going to work for us. Minnesota done. Cleveland done. All right, Cleveland. Darius Garland looking good across both sites. Jared Allen looking good across both sites. 7,800 on DraftKings, too. Evan Mobley continues to be underpriced on not even just both sites, but like DraftKings at 6,800 is kind of crazy. That's like a FanDuel price. Markkanen seems solid in the mid-5s. Even Rubio is worth a flyer. Price is slowly coming down. On the Minnesota side, I really like Anthony Edwards. Greg Smith, man, congratulations. Took down a Yahoo GPP. That's awesome. Like to hear that. Frank, always got to be up early for the process, baby. This is the spot. Edwards, Towns, Vanderbilt would be my 3 priorities. I'm a little nervous to go to Russell, particularly for 9K on DraftKings. Sort of worth a look at 8,400 on FanDuel. Just can't trust the minutes. Keep your eye on the news. We got to know that he plays first. Ooh, this one's ugly. Pistons, Pelicans. 5.5 point dogs. That would be the Pistons in New Orleans. Everybody that could be available for Detroit is available. On the Pelicans side, everybody that could be available is available. So this one should be pretty simple. Killian Hayes. Got to take his minutes down a little bit. We'll go 28-20 split on he and Corey Joseph. We got Isaiah Stewart in for 30. Luka Garza actually didn't play this most recent game, so I'm going to give those minutes to Trey Lyles. We saw Josh Jackson re-enter the rotation. That's an interesting piece of information. Sadiq Bey is pretty firmly in at 32. I'm actually going to make that 31 just for my own sanity. Jeremy Grant in for 35. I'm actually going to make that 36 for my own sanity. Hamidou Diallo played pretty sizable minutes, actually. So who didn't play? How did Josh Jackson get 14 minutes? Did he get 14 real minutes? Detroit. Yeah, that game was competitive. All right, so Josh Jackson legitimately played. Overtime. That makes a little bit more sense now. So wondering where all those extra minutes were coming from. Yeah, so Jeremy Grant was actually like 34. Now I feel a little bit better going back to that. Cade in for 33. That I can make 34. I'm comfortable with 22 for Frank Jackson, 22 for Hamidou Diallo. I just don't know how the hell to get Josh Jackson any playing time. I do not have that available on this team. I guess it's Diallo, but like I think Diallo plays more. So, yeah, it's not like Josh Jackson being in there matters, so that'll be fine for the rest of Detroit. Unfortunately, they look pretty interesting. Pelican side of this one, probably not a lot of changes to make. It's just going to be really big minutes to Brandon Ingram, to Josh Hart, to Devontae Graham, Joe Val, Herb Jones. So I got Joe Val in for 30. I'm going to make that 31. Already got Brandon Ingram in for 36. Kira Lewis tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for a minute or two now. Anxious to see what they do there. Maybe we see a little bit more Satoransky or something. Josh Hart. Yeah, 33 minutes is fine. Herb Jones probably needs an extra minute, I guess. And then let's just assume Garrett Temple plays a little bit more. Luckily, he's not very good. From a fantasy perspective, that is. That'll work. I did say that, didn't I, SMP? All right, let's look at this one. Detroit at New Orleans Pistons. Yeah, I mean, nothing too great. Like Jeremy Grant, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Those are the guys that you should really rotate through. Maybe a little bit of Killian Hayes if he's unowned on DraftKings at 4,100. For the Pelicans, love Brandon Ingram on both sites. 7,700 on FanDuel is just not the correct price tag. Joe Val is 7,500 on FanDuel. Looks really good. Josh Hart is 5K on DraftKings. Looks good. Devontae Graham is 4,900 on DraftKings. Looks good. Nickeil Alexander-Walker looks solid enough at 4,500. Looking good here so far. 2 games to go. We've got the Lakers on a back-to-back in OKC. Keep your eye on this one, obviously. Can't imagine that, for the Lakers, we don't know anything, so that doesn't really matter. For the Oklahoma City side, everybody that is available can be available. So we saw Dwight Howard start the second half of yesterday in place of Talen Horton-Tucker. I don't really know how we read into that, but we probably have to. I don't have any changes to make to this rotation, so this is just what it is. Same as yesterday, at least for right now, until somebody gets bumped. For Oklahoma City, Josh Giddey in for 31 minutes. Check. I'm actually going to make that 30 because he already shows up enough. 35 for Shea. All good. 34 minutes need to go. Well, first I need to take these Ty Jerome minutes away. We're going to go 34 minutes to Lou Dort. Kenrich Williams can probably play 1 additional minute. Got Muscala in for 11. That can go up. Take that to 14. We've got the Joe Rogan experience in for 26. Hasn't really done that recently. Needs 6 more minutes somewhere. Not the Poku, apparently. Baisley played 30 minutes the last 2 times out, so we'll give him another minute. And then we'll just throw 5 random minutes to, I don't care who. Paul Watson it is. Probably not even with the team. All right. Lakers and OKC. This one should just be pretty easy. AD is my preferred option as per usual here. LeBron gaining on him a little bit, but it's still AD. Russ would be third. Maybe some THT. Otherwise, we're good. Oklahoma City. Josh Giddey, FanDuel, 5,500, just an awesome play. Shea looks really good for 8,200 on DraftKings. Lou Dort looks pretty good for 5,500 on DraftKings. Baisley looks solid enough for 4,100 on DraftKings. Barker, congrats on the 1,200 bones, bub. That's awesome. All right, let's close this out. Final game of the night. We're through 8 games in 45 minutes. Maybe I should do the show like this more often. Boston at Phoenix. Great. Tall, dark, and handsome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Boston, Phoenix. Unless people are out, this is probably not going to be the best DFS game. So we have no Jaylen Brown. And that's it. On the Phoenix side, still no Devin Booker. So that one's going to be easy. So for Boston, not too much that we're going to need to change here. We got Robert Williams in for 25 minutes. I'm going to make that a little bit lower. We're going to go to 24. Enes Freedom playing a little bit less as of late. We're going to take that down to 10. And then we keep Al Horford in for his 30. We've got Grant Williams in for slightly more minutes as of late. We're going to take him up to 20. 36 for Jason Tatum is fine. Josh Richardson, who the hell knows? 34 minutes for Schroeder. That's fine. 33 minutes for Marcus Smart. That needs to be 34. Romeo Langford, I have in for 16. That's probably not the play. I got Aaron Nesmith in for 11, so let's go 15 and 10. That gets us Jay Rich to 26. That should work. But this is not an appealing fantasy game. Ken, good morning. Finally, for Phoenix. And if we can get 6 more legs quickly so we can get that number north of 100, that'd be great. I don't get the sense we have any major changes here. Bridges in for 36. Paul, I've got in for 33. We can make a case that should be 34. Yeah, this is just the playing time. 29 here, 29 for Shamet. Yeah, I go to 29 on Cam Johnson, up to 13 for Elfrid Payton. Not a ton here that we want to talk about. So, for Boston, obviously Jason Tatum looks interesting at 9,700 and 9,900. Schroeder and Smart would be your other 2 primary options here. Horford, worth a little bit of a look, but price is just a little high. Jay Rich for 3,500 is a value piece on DraftKings. On the Phoenix end, Bridges, Paul, Ayton, sure. Campaign, if you want to get really squirrely, 4,500 on the DK side. But that puts it to bed. There's my crunch from last night. Slate in the books, which means it's time for some optimal lineups. If you want to see optimal lineups and power rankings, hit that thumbs up. Sweating profusely from that coffee, which is fine because now we're switching to ice cold lemonade. More like lukewarm lemonade. Not good. Not good. Alrighty. FanDuel up first. Here we go. Optimal lineups on the duel. 336.3 by 0.2 of a point. Malcolm Brogdon, Cody Martin, Josh Giddey, Kevin Huerter, Giannis, Miles Bridges, Harrison Barnes, Isaiah Stewart, PJ Washington. No complaints there. That looks like a Josh Engelman lineup, that's for sure. I'm happy about it. Happy about it. You can drop down those 0.2 of a point if you want. You're swapping out Giannis and picking up Luka instead. Kevin Huerter leaves the lineup. So it's Giannis and Huerter for Luka and Cam Johnson. Fair enough. I like the first one more. Power rankings. What do we got? I mean, Cody Martin, we know, is going to be at the top of the power rankings. No, Giddey just does a little bit of everything. That's really thing for Giddey. When you're averaging like 12, 7, and 7, you project really well every night. Plays 31 minutes, neutral usage. Like, it's just, he looks good. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Cody Martin is the number one play for me by a mile. Am I over projecting Cody Martin today? Probably. He's playing 40 minutes a game. I got him at 0.95 fantasy points per minute. I don't think that that's all that crazy, but let me see if I need to make an adjustment to his rate. I want to know that now since we have a little bit of extra time. So if I go to Charlotte and we take off Ball and Rozier, which I think is going to be the piece that dictates everything here the most. No Ball, no Rozier. In theory, I could take Ish off as well, but I don't think that matters as much. We see Cody Martin has a 15.5% usage rate so far with no Ball, no Rozier. That is the proxy for this particular matchup. I got him at 14.5, so I'm lower than that. Assist rate is the same. You know, like in theory, I could bump the rebounding rate down. So I've got him at 0.95 fantasy points per minute. He's been at 0.86, but we got to remember, this is a pace-up spot. So what 0.95 really is on this slate is like 0.9. I'm more than okay with this. I think people that project him lower than that are wrong. That's probably the easiest way to say it. Like 38 minutes at... Even 38 minutes at the rate that he actually had, 0.86. If we want to say that there's no pace adjustment, 38 minutes times 0.86 is 32.68. He's still going to be the number one contender. Cody Martin's the best play on the slate today. He just is. At 5K, point guard, shooting guard. Yeah, it just is. Barnes is 2, Kelly Oubre 3, and then it just really flattens out. LeVert, Bridges, Washington, Brogdon, Gordon Hayward, AD, Bridges, Luka. Looks like Luka's the preferred pay-up option. I actually thought it was going to be Giannis, but looks like it's Luka, Harden, Giannis. That works for me. All right, let's check out DraftKings now. I'm definitely the highest Cody Martin projection in the industry, but people should join in. Not enough adjustments for pace. All right, DraftKings. Optimal lineup. Oh, boy. Chris Duarte, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, Gordon Hayward, Precious Achiuwa if he plays. I wouldn't have liked to see that. Cody Martin, Miles Bridges, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That all looks fine to me. Like, there's no surprises there. I think that all looks good. You can take out Precious if you want and just bring in Campaign. That is a direct swap for 1/10 of a point. Obviously, I would rather have that lineup in right now as like my placeholder. Now let's look at power rankings. And then we out of here for the weekend. DraftKings power rankings. Oh, man. It's going to be a good one today, guys. I woke up with that extra energy from that top 10 finish. Wish it would have been more. But we're knocking on the door. Let's be clear here. The day that I bink that contest and we start this process show, somebody's going home with some money. Absolutely. Alrighty. Miles Bridges at the top of the heap right now for DraftKings. Cody Martin 2, Gordon Hayward 3, Harrison Barnes, Chris Duarte, Lou Dort, Terrence Davis, Josh Hart, PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre. That's about where we need to draw the line. It flattens out after that. Not the easiest slate in the world, but it seems like a pretty fun slate. Like there's not a lot of really crazy news hanging in the balance, at least as of right now. You get all of these games starting by 8 o'clock, and then just one siloed Boston game. So like, you don't really have to hang around your computer until 10 o'clock, because I don't think Boston Phoenix is going to have a ton of exposure either. Like you can really just wake up 9:45, make any swaps you need to, at least as of right now. But you could be done and dusted by 8, which is really nice. That's the kind of slate that I like, so I'm pretty happy about that. Well, folks, that's going to do it. I think we're done here. Don't really have anything else that we could touch on. 9 games up, 9 games down. Broke this bad boy down perfectly. We hit our 100 likes, which makes me feel pretty good. I always love seeing that. Andy, happy to have you here, man. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I moved through it pretty quickly today. When you wake up and have some winnings, it's like having a shot of coffee immediately in your brain. So I felt pretty good here, waking up and attacking the day. Strategy show coming up later with Adam. Contenders videos will be out after the strategy show, probably, because I'm off to the gym now. NFL top 5s will be out at some point in time. And that's going to be the last piece of NFL content that I do other than the Sunday morning first look show. I am turning over all of the NFL contenders videos to Matt Savoca. So this will be it. Final top 5s for me. After that, I'm NBA only. So good morning to David Welsh. It's good to see you. Guys, have a good weekend. Have a good Friday slate. I don't know what I'm going to play in as of right now. I don't really want to play that Monster FanDuel contest. I'm not happy with them for putting that together, but I don't really feel like I have much of a choice. So there's that. Yeah, that's it. So good luck tonight. Have a great weekend. Go Liverpool, taking on Stevie G and Aston Villa on Saturday. So that'll be a fun one, but enjoy everything you guys got going on this weekend. You know where we will be. Right back here, Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's The Process.